friends, as you can see, the trash is literally taking over my area. So we're doing a trash talk, lots of things to talk about, lots of really fun things that I've discovered with this round of trash. So let's go ahead and get started. The first are 2 candle discoveries. I have tried out more of my 719 Walnut Ave candles. Now, recall the last time I talked about these candles, I was not a fan. I thought, oh, what a dud. I heard all these great things, and this candle was no good. I think it was Walk in the Woods. It was awful. Well, then I decided, why don't I pull out the other 2 that I have and burn those right away just so I can get them out of my collection and be done with it. Well, that haul changed, my friends. I used up both pumpkin waffles and caramel cinnamon roll. These are fabulous. Pumpkin waffles is the exact same as pumpkin pecan waffles from Bath & Body Works. They are one and the same. When I had that burning, Ben even asked me, he was like, is that pumpkin pecan waffles from Bath & Body Works? And I was like, no sir, no it's not. It's a $5 dupe. So I highly recommend this candle in particular. It doesn't burn as smoothly as Bath & Body Works candles do, but I mean, it burns down, no sooting, and it had an amazing scent throw. I love this scent in my bedroom. And I'll admit, if I can keep finding this every year, I will be done buying this particular scent from Bath & Body Works because they are one and the same and they basically have the same strength to them. The other one that I tried was the caramel cinnamon roll candle. This one I used in my bedroom after I finished up that one. This I didn't love the scent of. I was hoping that because caramel was at the very top here, it would have more of that caramel scent, but it really ended up being more cinnamon scent. It reminded me a lot of the Mainstays. I think it was like French toast candle. It had that same cinnamon effect. It was still very strong. It burned for a long time. Again, a really solid candle. So if you like that more cinnamon based bakery scent, this would also be an amazing find for you. Again, $5. The packaging, it's a little, chintzier than Bath & Body Works, but I mean, you pay so much more for Bath & Body Works candles, even on the sale. The lowest I can get candles for normally is like $7 or $8. Those are still cheaper, and there's no couponing, no saling, no waiting. I can just buy them and not worry about it. So I recommend those 2. Walk in the Woods was not great. If you have tried any of the winter ones, please let me know what ones are successful because I'd rather not waste my $5 on dud 716, 719. They have to me, they don't have a clear, succinct name brand, but if you know any of those candles that are good that are in the winter collection, let me know. I'll probably pick them up. The other thing that I have are these Ollie Perfect Women's Multivitamin Gummies. I've talked about these before in a favorites, and I wanted to throw these in here just to, again, shout them out to you. One of my resolutions this year was to get back on track with taking my vitamins, and it's been really sporadic. I've been off, I've been on, and then my trainer, Abby Esbenshade, she talked about these in one of her fitness channel videos, and I thought gummies. Seems like a decent idea. I'll give them a try. These are delicious. There are, I think, 3 different flavors of them. You take 2. They are this size. They are delicious. I take them in the morning. I've had no problems since starting these about 3 months ago, taking my vitamins every single day without fail. So if you're someone who wants to take vitamins but you struggle to get the motivation or you don't like the taste of them, give these a try. They're at Target. I think for a 90-day or a 45-day supply, which is one of these, it's somewhere like I think $15, which isn't that bad. I'm a big fan of them, and I just wanted to give them a shout out here in case you were like me and struggling with your vitamins. The next thing I have is the Tresemme Thermal Creations Heat Tamer Leave-In Spray. It has taken me forever to use this up because while I had pulled this out, was using all of these like hair sample heat protectants, and I finally used this. I will admit, I don't love the pump on this. I like the feature of it being able to lock really easily, so it made it very travel friendly, but just the spray gun in general wasn't my ideal way to spray this into my hair. I don't think it was a very even or consistent spray, so I'd probably buy this again, but if I could, I would either dump it into another package or just exchange this pump with a previous one that I had been working on. But I love the Tresemme Heat Protectant Spray. It is a no fail for me. I also am saying goodbye to this alcohol, first aid, antiseptic. This is what I use for panning or repressing my shadows or powder products in general. I was told that you want to get the one that's, I think, 90% or higher, and they had this nice spray bottle. I also use this to clean out my like travel sprays where I can dump any kind of fragrance into them. I like to just clean it out with that to get the other previous scent out. I'm pitching this because it expired at the end of September, and I don't know, I just feel like you shouldn't mess with that if you're gonna then put some product on your face after using this. This is pretty inexpensive, and again, I love the sprayer on here, so I'll definitely buy this again when I'm ready to start doing some repressing. I'm just not there yet, but I wanted to go ahead and pitch it because I want to adhere to the expiration date for rubbing alcohol. The next thing we have, I have a lot of big things that I emptied over this past round. I have this Macadamia Natural Hair Oil Deep Repair Mask. This is 1 liter. This is insane. So I was on HoteLook. This is one of the first things I have ever purchased off of HoteLook, even though I've been a member for years. They were doing, I don't know, maybe I want to say like 9 months ago at this point. They were trying to get rid of the old packaging. They have since sort of repackaged or, I don't know, rebranded themselves. And this was like $50, which seems really steep. But the reality is, whenever I find the smaller tubs in a TJ Maxx or a Home Goods or even on HoteLook's site, they always sell those smaller tubs for like $20, $25, and they're maybe a third or a fourth of this size. So I went ahead, I purchased it. I was really, really happy. I did not keep this in my shower. I have been scooping it into my smaller tub and using it that way. I finally scooped my last bit out and then thought I would throw this into my empties to talk about it. If you can find this size, and especially for $50, I think it's a really great value. This is one of my favorite hair masks. I do have some other hair masks that I have gotten in some subscription services that I'm going to try out before I repurchase it, but this is really my holy grail hair mask. I think it's part of the reason why my hair has gotten so long and has been a bit healthier is because I've constantly, for the past like 1.5 to 2 years, every week have done a hair mask, normally with this stuff, and I think it does make a difference. I have another candle. This is my Woodwick candle in Midnight Apple. I have so many mixed feelings about having used this up. I flippin' loved this scent. It to me is not like, it's not a straight apple scent. I don't know how to describe it. There's no scent description on here that I can give you. I tried to purchase another one of these, but my Home Goods, as you guys saw in my haul, was donezo with all fall stuff, and it was all Christmas, and they didn't have any more of these. I'm gonna check some other stores though, because I very much miss this scent. I will say though that Benjamin was not a fan of the noise that this candle produced because it has a wood wick, which I'd never used before. I loved it because it made me feel like I had a fireplace in our bedroom, but he found it to be a little distracting. So if I get another one of these, I'll have to burn it when he's not home because the noise really irritated him. But these are really nice quality candles. They burn really well. You know, it burned really far down, no sooting, not a whole lot of wax residue on the sides, and the scent was immediate. I could immediately smell it within like couple of minutes of having lit it. So big fan of woodwick candles, and I'm not opposed to getting more of them. I just don't know if I can get Ben on board with the woodwick. All right, I also used up my Vasanti Brighten Up Enzymatic Face Rejuvenator with Microderm Crystals. This has been what I've been using to exfoliate my face in the shower. I have mixed feelings about this. I think I was just sick of it at the very end. I also haven't been doing a very good job consistently exfoliating my face because in my Finish 13 by Halloween, I had that stupid face wash that I've been trying to work on, and I was using that at the expense of using this. So I'm glad that I've used it up. I have purchased the Philosophy Microdermabrasion like face scrub that I want to try next. I don't know if I'll go back to this. I liked it, but I'm kind of over it now, if that makes any sense. I've also used a teeny tiny lotion. This is the Body Shop Body Butter in the scent, I think it's like their lime margarita scent. Yeah, I like this, but I don't like it during this season. I pulled this out because I don't know what's going on with my skin, but I'm finding that I have had really dry body skin. That sounded super gross, but that's just the reality of it. I have just been very dry. I will put on at night my like triple body cream from Bath & Body Works, or like the heavy duty kind of cream in the bigger tubs. And I just find in the morning my skin kind of almost has an itchy feeling, which that shouldn't happen. It means that my skin has dried out overnight, and I've never experienced that. So I've been pulling out of my hoarding closet really thicker or body butter or even oily based types of those heavy duty kind of creams, and this is one of those. Now, in years past, I have hated the body butters because they've been too much. My skin hasn't needed that much moisturization, and it would make me like feel greasy and slippery, and I never liked it. That's no longer the case. My body quickly absorbed this stuff, and then my skin just felt moisturized, but I didn't have any of that residue that I've had previously. So I am nervous about this because I have a lot of Bath & Body Works creams to go through that I don't want to just have go to waste or have to give away because they don't work anymore. So I'm trying to like mix in some other things to offset it, but this is really nice. I just didn't like the scent. I didn't like the scent because it wasn't seasonally appropriate anymore. I also have two of these sketchy looking bags. These are Fortune Cookie soaps. I don't know which ones they were, but I used two of them up. I have come to a reckoning with those. I finally realized how many of them that I have just had sitting there. And technically they're meant to be, I think hand soaps, but I'm using them as body soaps just so I can go through them a little bit quicker and clean them out because I just love a good pump soap for my hands. I'm not someone who wants a bar hand soap, so I don't think I'll get much use out of them otherwise. So that's kind of the only big flaw I'm seeing of those Fortune Cookie soap boxes. I don't get a whole lot of use out of the soaps, but now that I'm using them for my body, they go through a lot faster because it's a much bigger surface area to clean, and I'm liking them that way, so I'm gonna keep doing that. I've got a couple of these Sephora Express eye makeup remover wipes. These are really nice. I've used, I don't know, I think a bunch of samples that come in this little 2-pack like this, and I'm never unimpressed with them. I don't know how much they are, but I feel like they could be really good for travel. I don't know if they come in like a bigger pack that you can just pull them out one at a time or if they're always individually wrapped like this, but they are really effective at taking off your makeup. I use this L'Occitane Concentrate, Delight Milk Concentrate. Like the scent of this, but it wasn't moisturizing enough for my body, so I wouldn't buy it. And then I use this Bio Peel Gauze Peeling Lemon. I think it's from Neogen Dermology. This was one of those, this reminded me of a previous item I had in a Mimi box years ago, and it made me miss Mimi boxes because I just, honest to God, love Korean and Asian skincare and makeup. This is one of those pads where you put your finger in between and you would just kind of rub it around your face and it would slowly peel the skin, but it wouldn't leave like little balls. It was just so gentle and so effective. And at first I was like, oh, it's one peel, like whatever, I'm not gonna feel the difference. Lies. My skin immediately felt softer afterwards, and I could really feel my serum sink into my skin like really quickly after using this. So I think if you're someone who wants a low maintenance removal of dead skin, or you want to have softer skin, these can be pretty effective, because I just imagine it says in the instructions that you should use these twice a week or as needed. I feel like if you use one of these every day or twice a week, you would have like the softest of face skin, which is not a bad thing. I also use the Rite Aid Renewal Cotton Ovals. Really liked these. I loved the size of these. They were great for taking off an entire face of makeup, and they didn't leave any like cotton pieces on my face, so I would absolutely buy these again. And the oval size in general, I'm a big fan of compared to the smaller little squares. The last sort of face thing that I have is the Julep What Your Skin Needs Restorative Facial Milk. I came across this in one of my like boxes that I hadn't unpacked from a while ago, and I pulled it out and started using it. I was using it at night, and I was using my Finish 13 by Halloween serum in the morning. This stuff was okay. I really am not a fan of the packaging. It was really difficult. It's a similar like dropper to the Body Shop Lightning drops. And I tried to take out the stopper here because when it got to about here, I could no longer effectively suck up product to get it out, and I nearly broke my tweezers trying to pop out the stopper and gave it up. So I had to like do some manipulative work here to like get the product out. So I didn't like that. I also didn't like find my skin to be greatly changed from using this, so I wouldn't buy it, but it definitely didn't hurt my skin in any way. So if you're looking for like trying it in your Julep box, maybe throw it in there and see if you like it, and then you can buy more of them from their site. All right, the last things I have are makeup items, and I have both makeup items that I'm saying goodbye to and then makeup items that I have used up. So we'll start the ones that I'm saying goodbye to. I'm finishing up both my Clinique highlighter and my Body Shop bronzer. I kind of went through this moment where I was trying to find out what one I wanted to use next. And along the way, I found a lot of duds that I just want to go ahead and throw away because in particular with bronzers and highlighters, they take me so long to go through that I just don't see the point in forcing myself to use those two items in particular if they are not going to work for my needs. I just am not motivated. So the first thing I have is my first highlighter ever. This is the Stila Set and Illuminate Baked Powder Trio. This is essentially a setting powder. I think this is kind of like a precursor to the Hourglass powders that have come out that everyone loves. But this is what it looks like. It is really shimmery. And at first I was like, oh, I'll try it as my all over face powder. No, I look like Edward Cullen when I do that. It just you get in the sun and your face has this freaky iridescence that I don't think you should have in your everyday life. So then I thought oh, let me try it as a highlighter. No, it looks like nothing. It literally will just blend away to nothingness, and then when you're in the sun, you'll have this weird illumination that doesn't look good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this away. It was literally the first highlighter I ever got. It was just in a Stila kit that I had purchased, and it's no good, so I'm pitching it. I'm also saying goodbye to a bunch of bronzers. I have two of these Bare Minerals Bare Skin Sheer Sun Serum Bronzer. Let me tell you, the term sheer here is not a lie. I literally blended this on my face. There was nothing. There was no, you couldn't even tell I had done anything to my face. And for a pale child like me to not see any effect of a bronzer, that's no good. So I'm throwing both of these samples away. I'm also throwing the Do the Hula from Benefit Liquid Bronzer away because this made me look like an Oompa Loompa, and that's not a look I want to strive for. It just isn't the right tone for my skin, so I'm throwing that away as well. And then I have these two Maybelline Master Glaze bronzers. I have one in Glistening Amber and Subtle Bronze. I don't know who in their right mind would wear these as a bronzer because they are both just straight shimmers. Let me show you. Shimmer, shimmer, shimmer. These to me remind me of color tattoos or an eyeshadow topper, and I considered keeping these for those reasons. No, I have so many eye-based products that I do not need to add these to that extra area and then feel the pressure of using those up there. These were maybe $1 each at the Walgreens clearance section, which is why I picked them up, and I now understand why they were on the clearance section, because it's not bronzer. It is just straight shimmer, which I don't want to put on my face unless it's on my eye area or on my highlight area, not on my bronzer. So that is going. I'm also saying goodbye to the Lorac Tantalizer Baked Bronzer. This I got, I think, in an Ulta samples baggie that they gave out. I have this on today, and really you really can't tell I put any bronzer on. And as I mentioned previously, as a pale child, at least with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, I can build that up and it is a nice product. This, you can't really build up on my face, and that concerns me if I can't build up a bronzer on my face because I am so freaking pale. I also am saying goodbye to the Hard Candy Baked Bronzer. This, I don't know in what world, is a bronzer. This is just not a bronzer. And I don't need, this doesn't work as a great highlight for me. I don't need it as an eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pitch it. Again, I got Hard Candy in a after Christmas special sale, and it was not very much money, so I don't feel bad for throwing it away. The last item that I'm decluttering is a nail polish. This is a Ruffian nail lacquer in No More Tears. I really like this color, but it does not go well on my skin tone color, and I don't know anyone I can pass it on to who would like this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it away because you guys know with nail polishes, I do not feel any attachment to them. I want to use them if I like them, but if I don't like them, or if it's not, it gets goopy, I'm done with them. I'm not gonna fuss around with nail polish. All right, now onto the makeup products that I used up. My first is the e.l.f. Daily Brush Cleaner. This is my favorite. You guys know this forever and ever. I will always purchase it. I also used up the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion in the shade N2, which is Classic Ivory. This is maybe one of my favorite cushion products of all time. I just absolutely love this. It is a pain in the butt, and I do flip the center sponge around frequently because the product will get settled on the bottom part of the sponge. But the only real con is that it's just pricey and you're paying for packaging, which is lame. I also tried this Citrine Nest Fine Fragrances. It was fine, but it wasn't my type of fragrance that I prefer. It had a nice balance of like a lemon citrus scent with some kind of other notes to it, but I wouldn't purchase it. Then we have mascaras. I used up 4 mascaras. I'm the person, I frequently will go through mascara and like get sick of one and pull out another one and then like fiddle through the, as many as I want to until they all kind of end at the same time. The first I have is the NYX Curvaceous. This is a Lush Lashes mascara. This one I did not really like. It just is one of those wands that doesn't do a whole lot for your lashes. So that's why I had to couple it with the Colossal mascara. This is the Maybelline Colossal Volume Express. This one I really like because it does a nice job sort of separating but adding volume to your lashes. So it helped kind of combat the not so greatness of the first one. Then we had the NYX More to Love Lush Lashes Mascara. This one reminded me of a CoverGirl kind of wand, but I didn't find it to be as effective as CoverGirl mascaras. So all in all, I don't think I'm a big NYX mascara fan, especially I've tried a plethora of them. I think I only have a few more left, but nothing has really like spoken to me that I want to purchase. And the last one is the Max Factor Masterpiece Max. A lot of Max there. High volume and definition mascara. This I got in an influencer box. People like got real excited about Max Factor coming into CVS, but I didn't see the big whoop about it because I got a couple of products from Max Factor, and CoverGirl and Max Factor are owned by the same company or same people, and this to me, it was a good mascara, but I'm fairly certain you can get this as a CoverGirl mascara. I don't know what one it is, but like it wasn't anything where I was like, oh, this is vastly different from every other CoverGirl product I've tried. I'm so glad it's here. So like I used it and it was good, but I think that you can just get the CoverGirl version and be totally content. I don't know, it's just my thoughts on that. But those are all of my trash items. A lot of big tubs that I went through and a lot of reviews, a lot of chattiness happened in this one. But as always, guys, I am super thrilled to keep making progress, to keep emptying things, and I appreciate you guys watching my trash talks. I think I get a lot of views on those because it's interesting to see what people are going through and to get their thoughts. But I always want to hear from you guys. Are you using up products? Are you on a mission to end your clutter? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.